What's going on, guys? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and I'm back with more Ravnica mini unboxings. This time, we've got a whole brick of Guildmasters Guide to Ravnica Minis here to unbox. So if you want to see what's inside, stay tuned right after this. Alright, so hopefully with this mat down, it'll be a little bit easier to do this. So we're just going to go ahead and cut through the plastic, and we'll just start unboxing all of our Ravnica minis here. So I've got a brick, which is a full 8 boxes. Sorry for the crinkly paper sound. We've got all of our boxes here to go through. As just a fun fact, the way these things work, there's no way you'll be able to get all of the minis, like every single mini in this set, with one box. So with one brick, you'll have to buy multiple bricks. So I'm just going to try to coordinate these off to the side as we go through this. As I stated earlier, I'm not really sure what to expect, so we're going to go ahead and cut this open and see what we get inside here. I do also want to say a big thank you to Jessa and Chris from WizKids, and again, the whole WizKids team, for supplying these to me to do a review. So let's go ahead and see what we got. So, I don't know, like I said, I don't really know what any of these things are, but this mini looks freaking sweet. Check this out, guys. It looks like it looks like a Batman villain. Is a Rakdos Ogre. Oh, let's put the camera down on the bottom. That way we get the full. Look at this thing, man. Holy shit. It's got these big old chains with the hooks coming out the back. It kind of reminds me of Bane, the Batman villain, but like, look at these big ass chain hooks. It has like brass knuckles and stuff. This is awesome. Kind of has like a, speaking of Batman villains, you got this kind of Harley Quinn thing going on here. So I don't know. I assume that this is probably one of the minis or one of the monsters in Ravnica. I did the video on it, but I just don't remember as it's been a little while. But it also may not have had an image to go along with it. But holy shit, why would you not? Look at this thing. This is awesome. All right, so that's mini 1 from this box. Let's see what else we got. We got our 3 little guys here. So this one is a Orzov Basilica statue. This just looks like some sort of little imp flying monkey gargoyle on a stone statue. The stone is actually, I'm probably more impressed with the stone than I am with the actual creature atop it. You know, I'm a geologist, so like this is actually like the texture. It feels like a piece of stone. It's got nice like cleavage planes and stuff, like where rocks is chipped off and cleaved along this way. It's very, very good. I like that. I don't actually know what it means, and if it's an actual mini or more like a set dressing piece, that's kind of my assumption. This is an Undercity Gorgon. So, this I do remember being in, I think I remember seeing this in the monster section, but this is essentially, you know, if you know anything about Greek mythology, you know that Medusa was the most famous of the Gorgons, so this is why she's kind of got like the snake-like hair here. This could also serve as some sort of blight, or evil druid, or, you know, a Medusa, if you need to. So that's a cool one. Alright, what do we got in here? Last one. Ooh, alright, this one's pretty cool. A Blister Coil Weird. Look at this guy. He's all translucent, kind of ooze-like. But he's a weird, so he's probably an elemental. I really should pull up, I'm actually going to do that while I'm going through this. I'm going to go to D&D Beyond on my other screen here, and I'm going to pull up what these minis all are, because, damn, this is freaking cool. Look at these guys. Alright, Guildmasters Guide to Ravnica. So, alright, that's box 1. If this is any indication of the way the rest of this is going to go, this is awesome. That's a great set of minis. Go to the bestiary. Alright. Next box. Okay, things are looking up, guys. I'm pretty pumped about this. Alright, here, we've got a Ledev Guardian. And this is a freaking badass elf warrior chick on a dire wolf. Like, what? This is awesome. You know, there's a little bit, obviously you can see there's some green paint. Now, whether that's supposed to be there, probably not. I'm assuming that's just like painting error. And, you know, the sculpt is a little, the sculpt's pretty good, actually. Look at the wolf face, it's pretty good. And then, you know, she obviously kind of got not so great here if you look at her face. Kind of lopsided eyes. And I thought this was a bow. It's actually a spear, but that's just the nature of being in the box. It's just got bowed a little bit. But overall, a very cool mini to have. I like mounted minis, mostly because I like pets in my games in general, so that's pretty cool. You know, it's a cool concept. The paint leaves a little to be desired. All right, whoa, here we go. Windrake. Again, the face, not the best, but you know, it's a kind of a flying dragon-like creature. This could work as a wyvern if you needed it to. I'm on board so far. This is winning me over here. So let's see. Does that... I'm looking... I see an Undercity Medusa on D&D Beyond, so that was probably our Undercity Gorgon. I see the Blister Coil Weird, which was indeed an elemental. Under Monstrosities, I don't see the Rakdos Ogre, and then we have a dragon. It just has Niv Mizzet. It doesn't have this Drake. So I'm just curious, like, are these... So, Rakdos is listed under Fiends. I'm just a little shocked. You know, you think you'd have all of these things in there. Now, I know in some cases when you open up minis, like, it's for a set that's not out yet. There's an Orzov Giant, but this is very clear. This is a Rakdos Ogre. Yeah, so it's not even listed under the giant types. So we're gonna keep unboxing the minis. I'm just gonna open NPCs as well in case it's somewhere within there. Rakdos NPCs. Rakdos, Blood Witch, Lampooner, Performer. Yeah, it's not anywhere. This is a freaking amazing sculpt. Why not have stats for this? We're just gonna search D&D Beyond and see if it comes up anywhere. Rakdos Ogre. Oh, that says random. Sorry guys, I need to know if this thing has stats. Rakdos creatures. Ogre. Yeah, it's just the Ogre in the monster manual. That's all it links us to. Rakdos creatures, Ogre, monster manual. It doesn't even have... Yeah, it doesn't link you to a unique mini. This thing? A hell of a lot cooler than your generic base Ogre. What the hell, man? How do you not give me that? Alright, well, let's keep going. Okay, this is a Precognitive Mage. So this just was a nice wizard-type sculpt. Your magic lollipop here. I really don't like this kind of design. This is on a bunch of the unpainted minis as well. But it does have this cool kind of back piece pauldron with the runes down it. I like that, but I just can't help but thinking this looks like a giant magic lollipop. Alright, and what do we got in here? This is a Duskmantle Assassin. So this is actually better design than our starter set human rogue we've got. So this is just a good, decent rogue mini, assassin mini. I like this. Solid. Okay. On to the next one. So far, pretty impressed. Okay. Got some other kind of ogre-looking guy here. Alright, we've got a Gruul. Gruul ogre. Again, this guy, way cooler. If we go to the Gruul section, we have ogres, but we don't have Gruul ogres. so they're just part of... Yeah, they don't actually have a specific... Oh, so annoying. These things look so cool. Look at this guy. He's got like this big ass hammer. He's got all these like scars, like these runes or tattoos on his body. Like these are engraved in the cut into the mini. This is so much cooler than your generic monster manual ogre. His hair almost looks like it's maybe not hair and it's actually horns. Like look at that. That's awesome. This is actually a really nice sculpt. And I just have to use generic... I mean, yes, obviously I could homebrew anything, but like, how are these things so cool and all they have is generic mini, like a generic stats? Alright, here's a Mind Drinker Vampire. So this one does have stats, and this is a pretty good vampire. This could be your Strahd if you need it. It's got kind of this cool metal back piece with the hooks coming off the back here. It's flying. Very cool. He's got his nice claws you can see there. Alright, I dig that. That's a good mini. Just a good, like I said, can be a vampire if you're not playing in Ravnica. We have a Fire Fist. This is a bad... Look at this guy. So this can be your paladin mini for your character, or like a cool like evil... I guess you could repaint this possibly a little, make this an evil king or evil kind of knight, or keep it as it is. Or this could be a super good knight or super good guy. Look at this with the fire coming off the sword and kind of the like... Oh, this almost looks like it might be fur pauldrons. By the way, you can get the little sun detail on the boots. This is very nice. I'm a fan of that. Then we've got Gerard, the Golgari Guildmaster. This one, for a Guildmaster, he's not that great looking. I think our human druid from the starter set looks a little nicer here. You know, he's got some intricacy in the metal piece here. He's got some kind of bones right up there. I feel like I should be doing this with like a pencil, so that's a little easier to see. I'm pointing like this, right? So you got the pencil, so my fat fingers aren't in the way. He's clearly either very angry, very happy, or wearing white lipstick. He's got kind of whatever this shoulder pauldron looks like it's made out of rock, and like a staff that looks like it's topped with a mushroom. A couple mushrooms on it, maybe. Oh yeah, looks like there's some mushrooms here on the shoulder. So I don't know. For a Guildmaster, I think you'd want a little more. Like I think the Fire Fist is, or Flame Fist or whatever it is cooler than that. And he's a Guildmaster. Alrighty, what else we got? Next box. These minis, man. Check this out. What we got here. An Orzov Giant. Now this one does have its own stats. So this, he doesn't really look like a giant compared to like, hey, here's a Flame Fist. They're about like the same height, roughly, considering like the other, like the Frost Giant minis. And he is only large size, it seems. So I think an Orzov Giant... Oh, okay, an Orzov Giant in Guildmasters Guide to Ravnica is only large size, so now I don't feel as bad. But, you know, I mean, this could be a large size cleric or paladin. I mean, look at how resplendent this guy is with all the gold armor. He's got this big ass great axe here he's wielding. You might need to reshape it a little bit, put in some hot heat gun or a hot water, ice water bath to change that up a little bit. Actually, it looks like it's kind of holding, but either way, this is pretty cool. And his face is covered up by this this helmet visor, so he could basically be whoever you want him to be, or she. Very cool. Dig this one. All right. What else do we got here? A Conclave Dryad. So a good nature creature, nature dryad. We've got a little fan kind of embellishment here on a spear. We got sort of a plant-like skirt, and you can see it's kind of like a leaf scale mail, and her hair is very much like vines and plant growth. And she's got these little kind of like leg guards and this one pauldron here, kind of look like they're maybe they're supposed to possibly be metallic, it looks like. Our little headdress piece here. I don't know, this could be a player character too. You could pretend this is maybe a furball or something like that, or just use it as a generic dryad. Again, you can obviously use these all for their intended purpose for Ravnica, but if you're not playing in a Ravnica setting and you want to pick up these minis, you can. Here is Krenko, the Goblin Mob Boss. So this is another Goblin mini here. He seems very happy or angry. You can see he's got this crazy smile and these wide eyes. Unfortunately, it's hard to get a crazy amount of detail in these pre-painted minis in this size. So he's just another goblin. He could just be a regular goblin, or you could make him your goblin boss for your game. And then we have, ooh, what is this? A medium Crassus. So look at this guy. He's kind of like a spider creature with like a hammerhead shark head. Big old belly on him, a loincloth. He's got this little kind of harness in the middle. Shoulder pauldron. These are, again, I really need to do myself and all of you a favor and reread Guildmasters Guide to Ravnica for the lore. Again, as someone who plays Dungeons and Dragons almost exclusively, has no, I'm gonna say probably no real interest in picking magic back up. Like, what these things are is lost on me. The lore is just not my strong suit, like it is for, say, Forgotten Realms or Dungeons and Dragons in general. But this is a pretty cool sculpt. I have to find a way to incorporate this into my game somehow. That's all the boxes over here. We got 4 left. We're doing pretty good, though. These minis are, again, like I said, my favorite part about this is I don't really know what to expect when I'm opening these up. Oh boy, guys. This is a big one. Oh. Look at this Skyjack rock. It doesn't even almost fit in frame. Look at this thing. How cool is that? Skyjack rock. What? Now see, this I feel like is a mini that should be huge sized. Let's check. Is this a monstrosity? Nope, it is large size too. All right, they are. It does have a breastplate even in the stat block here. So this is like a rock, the giant bird creature of D&D fame, but it kind of has more like a bipedal look to it. It looks like you might even be able to ride it. And it has this kind of, rather than like a bird's tail, it has kind of like a worm, or not a worm, a rat's tail. I do see there is a couple little issues with the sculpt. You can see there's kind of some like tags for a mold release or something here on the end. We might just be able to shave that off real quick. This is not the sharpest of knives, but yeah, you could just shave that off and use some paint to fix that. Yeah, huh. This is pretty cool, and it kind of matches up with the art in the book. So this, I'm super excited about. I have to find a reason to put some kind of giant bird creature in the game. Awesome. Great. What we got here? Oh, looks like we got a lizard folk. A rubble belt stalker. Okay, so this guy, also badass. Look at this, right? He's like a lizard folk. He's got a freaking knife taped to his tail. Look at that. And he's got, it looks like he's got like brass knuckles. Let me get back over here for brass knuckles on this hand. Pencil back here. Got this long knife. You can kind of see his yellow eyes. There's the teeth. He's got these almost like bone-like looking suspenders and this sharp pointy helm, possibly, maybe teeth. But this is cool. I'm digging this. Rubble belt stalker. What's his deal? No picture for this guy, so you would never know. Humanoid, any race. Rubble belt stalkers are scouts and skirmishers for the Gruul clan. So, alright, that's why. So he doesn't have to have a race, but they chose to make him like this cool dragonborn, I think more lizard folk creature. This is again, you want to have a unique NPC for your players to fight. this would be your guy. That's awesome. Okay. This is Azorius Arrestor. I'm assuming this is probably a named NPC. This could be your cleric, your paladin, your fighter. Clearly looks to be female, but the little adjustments, or maybe even not, you really can't even tell. It looks like you got like a cowl on of some kind coming off of the back of your cape, which does have a little bit of a messy paint job on the cape here. You probably can't see it in this light. But either way, it looks like it's a maul-wielding character. So this could be a pretty good supplement for you if you're not playing in Ravnica and you don't need this NPC specifically. And then our last one. Ooh, this one looks cool, guys. We got wings. What? Prowl Death Priest. Look at this thing. What? Got these transparent double set of wings, right? You can kind of see there's two there and two here. It's some sort of large bug creature with a... You got this kind of mask here, and this... Here's your kind of chitinous armor and all your limbs, right? You got just staff. What is this called? A Prowl Death Priest. Where is that? Prowl Death Priest. This looks pretty much just like the art in the book. You're a 4th CR4. So you're kind of based off of a sort of a death cleric, basically. Very cool. They're kind of a bug, hive-minded creature. Again, you could use this as like a Thrykeen or something similar to that. If you didn't want to play in this setting. There's just so much cool stuff you could do because, again, like when you get these D&D minis, right? Everybody knows, like, oh, that's a mimic. Oh, that's a beholder, right? Like, you know what those are. These, I feel like if you buy them and you're not playing in Ravnica specifically, you can still like slot these into your regular game. And that's a big strength for me. Alright, we got another thing with huge wings, guys. Looks like a Sphinx, possibly. Sphinx of Judgment. Look at this, guys. These are so sweet. I'm a huge fan of these minis. This blue, big Sphinx. You got these big ass wings with long flowing blue hair. The armor is okay, right? It's not the best of sculpts, but you got this, whatever, this black kind of tassel-y epaulet kind of situation going on here. She's got this big blue helmet. I'm not a huge fan of the color choice for the helmet mixed with the blue body, but that's probably not WizKid's fault. That's, I'm sure, Magic and ED's fault. Deep black set eyes and a blue lipstick. Solid. Again, unique Sphinxes for your game. You can even have a bunch of the same kind of Sphinx, and this is just a different kind of version. We have nothing to say here. We got another Precognitive Mage. I don't think there's really any difference between the two here, other than this one's head is a lot cleaner. You can see this one here, the first one we unboxed, that's kind of a more muted gray head covering, whereas this one on the left here is more nice clean white. So nothing to really speak of there. Alright, something else looks kind of cool in this one. Okay, some weird headpiece in this guy. This is a indentured spirit. Kind of looks like a Death Eater if you ask me. Alright, so this could be, I get this long flowing cape-like, you know, lower half of the body, no feet shown. You've got these white ghostly hands, kind of this gold chain coming down, and this mask with this poofy little headpiece. This could be a wizard, this could be a specter, a spirit of any kind. Again, it does really, I see that gold mask and I think Death Eater from Harry Potter, but that's just me. And then here, okay, here we have an Orzov Advocist with a K. This is also a great, just kind of generic NPC mini or player mini. Right, so you've got this female woman here. She's got some nice work done up in her hair and a couple little embellishments. It's a nice big gold kind of cummerbund looking piece here. She's got what looks like a cane and a fireball in this hand. So this could again be repainted to be your mini. You could maybe try to use some green stuff or something. Convert this into the holy symbol of your god. Maybe convert this cane into a weapon, a sword, or something similar. Could also be a hammer. Yeah, it looks like that could be a hammerhead rather than a cane. Solid all-around mini. All right, guys, I know I've said it a whole bunch during this video, but I am thoroughly impressed with everything I'm getting out of this. There's one mini that I'd really like to get because it just looks cool, and it's the large Crassus mini. Just because I think it looks cool. And fuck, wouldn't you know it? There it is. The large Crassus mini. Because tell me that does not look cool, huh? Look at this guy. He's like a giant toad crocodilian creature. He's got this pauldron here with the blue on it. It's got this, and this is the paint job on this one much better than a lot of the other ones we saw. You got the striping, the back, and kind of along the tail here. We've got the little red kind of for like the gills or whatever this would be for your frog type piece. Like another pauldron on this side. And yeah, this big old bulbous chin here. Let's take a look. This is the large Crassus. What is this considered? Category 3 Crassus? No? Category 1 Crassus? Category 2 Crassus in the book. It says Crassus large, which is just the size, but what you're looking for in Guildmasters Guide to Ravnica is a Category 2 Crassus. In the deep sinkholes that serve as laboratories and guild halls for the Simek Combine, biomancers employ a combination of magic and scientific method to create novel life forms. They coax new morphologies from existing creatures or combine traits from multiple organisms into one, producing the creatures known as Crassus. Some Crassus are unique creatures that can't reproduce. A few multiply and become part of the guild's standard menagerie. And they can have all sorts of crazy things like acidic skin and stinging abilities and all sorts of craziness. But this thing is so cool. This could be a dragon, right? This could be like a lizard folk god creature, you know, something that they summon, some massive or some ritual that they do to summon like a great warrior or turn one of their own into some sort of massive powerhouse creature. This would work for that. The creature, the Crassus itself, is only a challenge rating 6, and base creature doesn't have a whole lot going for it. It does do 2d12 on its bite and claws, and then you can get crazy with the armored hide and all the kind of alterations to it, but this is so cool. Ugh, I'm a fan of that mini. Alright. We're on a roll with this one, guys. This is probably one of, if not the best mini unboxings I've done thus far for any of my WizKids series, because there's just so many unique things. Sorry, let's move on. This is a Cakler. So you can see this is some sort of small, fiendish creature, I believe. Cakler, yep. We can go ahead and take a look here. He's got what looks like a spiked chain, I'm gonna guess. Yeah, it is. It's actually labeled as a spiked chain in the Guildmasters Guide to Ravnica. He's got his little horns here. His sculpt, the art on this one looks a hell of a lot cooler. He's got like luminescent blue eyes, and his mouth he's got a lot more jagged teeth. His mouth is kind of gaping here. The paint job leaves a little to be desired. It's kind of just speckled paint on here. It doesn't really give me some of the detail that some of the other minis have. Again, this is a small creature, so you get it. But this could work as an imp, or like an improved imp if you want to go that route or something. It has a little bit of magic to the creature in the book. Also, as a 3.5 and older, veteran, I like seeing Spiked Chain make a comeback. Although here it only does a d6 damage. Maybe that's because of the size. It does have a 10-foot reach, though. I would love to see a official Spiked Chain return to 5e. So that's our Cakler. All right, what is this guy? Okay, this is a centaur. Druid of the Old Ways. So we've got our centaur here. This is pretty cool, right? This is a lot more intricate and nicer than the centaur, although this one is only clearly a medium-sized creature based on the base here compared to the large-sized centaurs contained in the player's handbook, or I'm sorry, the monster manual. We've got one what I'm going to call a cutie mark here. But some tattoos on the flank. We've got some sort of bone. I'm not going to call it a saddle because you ain't sitting on that. Maybe that's by design, so they can't be like snuck up on and mounted while in like combat. We've got some kind of bone druidic looking leg coverings, a sort of bone rib cage necklace chest piece, and then we have this sort of, I don't know, loxodon. What kind of skull is this? It's got 4 tusks. I mean, it's got these 2 top tusks for sure, and the lower jaw seems to come out into tusks as well as the head of the staff. This is pretty cool, and you get the mohawk as well, and the bone earrings. The face kind of disappears. We lose the detail when we go further down, but definitely better than your generic centaur for sure. Could be a young centaur if you're using regular other, large-sized centaurs in your game, or just a unique one. Could make a really cool NPC for the party to interact with. And lastly, for this box, looks like we got another unique mini. We're doing pretty good. Only 1 duplicate. I know I say that, now we're going to get all duplicates in the next one. And this is a Celestia druid. So I guess Celestia druids do not need to worry about wearing metal armor, I'm guessing. Either way, this axe, totally badass. Kind of gives me a Gimli vibe here. We got this big metal belt. This doesn't scream druid to me when I look at this. It's got the kind of tree, which I guess is the Celestia Guild symbol on the pauldrons here. This could be a ranger, right? You got kind of tree-esque designs in the green and brown color scheme. This could be a ranger. This could be a fighter, a barbarian even. Although that looks like it may be... Oh, we got a little sword here. Didn't even see that. This could be medium armor or studded leather armor. So this could be a barbarian. Dude, you can make this a warlock. Make that your hexblade weapon. I'm a big fan. I like this mini. I don't like it as a druid, but that's because I live in the D&D world, not a Ravnica world. But I like it. Good. All right, guys, last box. This is I'm pumped. There's only 1 mini that I would love to get on, because it worked last time. I'm going to try it again. The only other mini that I'd love to get out of this box would be a Death Pact Angel, because it's on the box, and it looks freaking sweet. Look at that. How cool does that look? If I got that, I'd be pumped. That's the only other thing I want, because I didn't know. I knew the Crassus was one I wanted. Let's see how we do. Okay, we got some new ones. Okay. So, our big mini is a Rakdos Performer. Look at this thing. Look at this. What? These minis are so freaking cool. Maybe I should play Magic. I mean, look at this. You get this big flame, and they're on this kind of spiky iron cogwheel. And then let's get to the actual performer herself here. She's got this big old smile on her face. She's kind of got like a balance beam that's got flames coming out of both ends. Long flowing red tasseled cloak here. Her hair's a little crazy. She seems like she's probably gotta be a little crazy to have this as your line of work here. Let's take a look at that. I think I saw that somewhere. Rakdos Performer. This one has kind of like a fire breather. Challenge rating 1 for this mini. Seems a little ridiculous. Fire Eater, I'm guessing, because there's Blade Juggler, Fire Eater, and High Wire Acrobatus. She looks like she's kind of a mixture of all 3. So the High Wire Acrobatics has a barbed pole. The Fire Eater has a bladed chain and spew flame. The Blade Juggler just throws knives. So I don't really know. She doesn't really scream any one of those specifically. But either way, this is not a generic NPC in a game that I would run. This would be like this is like a boss or a leader of like a circus troupe. Plus, she's got a very Joker-looking smile. I mean, look at that, those red lips, like, and the kind of deadpan face there, and the big old smile. She's a villain, I think, for sure. Okay. Oh, what? Guys, what is even happening right now? Look at what I just got. This is the Arclight Phoenix, I think it's called. Holy shit. Look at this. Arclight Phoenix. This is beautiful, man. I know it doesn't have a... I mean, maybe I'm geeking out too much over these minis. But, like, and obviously this doesn't have a ton of detail to it because it's transparent. But you can see there's the veins and all the feathers, and you've got the kind of purple lightning coming off the back, and the purple interior feathers, as well as the kind of orange central piece of the Arclight Phoenix. This is awesome. I'm a big fan of this mini. I didn't even know this was going to be in here. Again, that's sort of the kind of benefit that I have, is I really didn't know what to expect. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse because I've said that I don't know how many times. But this is a pretty cool creature. Challenge rating 12. I think it's a much better Phoenix than the one that we got in Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. But that's just that. Alright, what else do we got here? Looks like this is another unique mini. This is a Simek hybrid, right? So this is one of the races you can play, where you can get like lobster claws or tentacles or spit acid. So this is just a generic Simek hybrid. You can find a cool way to incorporate this into a non-game, or, you know, your non-Ravnica game. I do have, you can kind of see here, they did flub up the paint a little bit. You got brown here in the ear, also on the face. But other than the scorpion arm, which does, I get that they're kind of off-putting, right? They're not supposed to be like a, you know, it just clashes so much. I get that's kind of the point, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of this mini, really. This one kind of doesn't really do it for me, and the paint on the face really helps to solidify how much I don't enjoy it. And then we've got another Dryad. Whatever these ones are called here. So the Conclave Dryad. So another one of these. Similar to the other one. There's a little bit of lighter shading on the hair here compared to the other one. For the most part, pretty much the same. So there you go, guys. Here are all the minis. I'll just pull them all back into frame. I'm not going to go through each one individually again. But there's definitely some badass ones in here. I mean, this guy, first one I opened, probably one of my favorites. Super upset that he doesn't have his own stat block, that he's just lumped in under Ogre. Because, like, you can't... Where's the stats for this guy? He would be so badass. Grappling and hooking people. Awesome. And then, obviously, I'm a big fan of the Crassus. And then, you know... Actually, like I said, I'm a big fan of a lot of these. But the couple ones that stand out would be that Ogre, the Crassus, and the Arclight Phoenix. So, anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below about these. I don't know about you, but this may be one where I go out and pick up more minis. Like, I got the Waterdeep Dragon Heist minis, and I actually unboxed 2 bricks of those. And I would have been fine with just one. There's certain mini sets that I do like to buy quite a bit of from WizKids. I really like the Horde of the Dragon Queen, or the Tyranny of Dragons, the first set, because it had a lot of dragons in it. The Monster Menagerie ones are usually really good because they come with a lot of very popular, iconic D&D monsters. Waterdeep Dragon Heist I did like because it had a lot of generic human NPCs and like animals, things that you kind of take for granted, things that you encounter between levels 1 and 5 in the city of Waterdeep. I would go out and buy more of these minis. I mean, these things are so freaking cool. Look at this guy. Look at him. Without even the close-up cam. Like, these things, right? These are freaking sweet. I don't know. I really like these minis a lot. I would go pick up some more. I really want to get, like I said, the only one that was on the box that I didn't get. I think I pretty much got every other one on the box. Medium Crassus, Minddrinker Vampire, Death Pact Angel, Fire Fist, Rakdos Performer, Crassus, Cakler. I didn't get the Gruul Anarch, which just kind of looks like a barbarian. Indentured Spirit, and then, yeah, the Death Pact Angel, which just like, look at that. That's like a cool scythe Angel of Death. Can't tell if that's a medium or a large size mini, but that is one that I want because that's just something that I don't have in my current mini collection. Something that kind of fits that niche, so I would love that. But I'm a huge fan of this set of minis, even though I'm not a huge fan of Magic the Gathering, and don't really know much about Ravnica, the setting. for playing games in. But I am a fan of Guildmasters Guide to Ravnica, the book, and these minis are clearly a testament to cool creatures found in that world. If you're looking to buy a box of minis, I would say these are pretty much a good bet, as you saw. In the entirety of 8 bricks, I only got 2 duplicate minis, which is almost unheard of. So that's pretty great. I can't promise that you'll have the same luck I did on that, but still very cool. And yeah, that's going to do it for my Guildmasters Guide to Ravnica mini extravaganza here. I covered everything. Once again, a huge thanks to the WizKids teams, specifically Chris and Jessa, for getting me these minis to do the review and the unboxing of. Be on the lookout for early next year will be the release of the Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage mini set from WizKids. They had some on display at PAX Unplugged. That's going to be a set to pick up, mark my words, because you're going to have things like iconic monsters that have not been released thus far, and they've got the huge size minis in there as well, right? So you're going to have like Bahirs, and the ones that stick out in my mind that I remember seeing were a Bahir and a Death Tyrant. So you've got the floating beholder head with the purple kind of eyeballs, but not stalks, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm starting to ramble. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you going to go out and pick up some of these Ravnica minis? Is there one you're looking for specifically? I'm thoroughly pleased with what I got, and I can't wait to unbox the next set. So I'll see you guys next time.